Hello gamers. Today I come to you with another This Week in Gaming, formerly known as My Week in Gaming, but I figured that TWIG was a better acronym than MOWIG. I literally just thought of that while I was typing up the title for the thumbnail. I'm sure somebody else has thought about it, but I don't really care. Today, we start with some Grounded 2 footage, which, if I'm honest, I haven't really given Grounded as much love as it probably deserves. I didn't give the first game a lot of love, but I kind of just play with friends passively because I got some friends that are really, really into it. And I'm having fun, riding bugs and being small. I am literally just a little guy in this game, and so I should probably love it more than I guess I do. It deserves more love from me. But yeah, I mean, ultimately just like survival games, like Ark and Conan and this and things like that, I don't know, they just get old for me real quick. And I kind of have to hyperfixate on them for there to be any sort of real passion about it. But, it's just something to do with friends, and I'm enjoying it for what it is. Yeah. But today I bring you a slightly longer video because I've been away for a couple of weeks. Not like away. I didn't go on another vacation. Lots of things have been happening. I started a new job, and basically just had to do a bunch of errands related to that, and also kind of just lock in and adjust my sleep schedule and adjust, like my caffeine intake, and it's just been like a whole thing, and I just haven't felt the itch. Well, I felt the itch, but I didn't know what I would talk about. I didn't have the energy to find something to talk about. And so today I'm kind of challenging myself. I considered making several smaller videos, SMOL small, or maybe shorts, or maybe just streaming without saying anything, with just like kind of chill music like this in the back. And I might still do those things, but I figured I would give fair warning. I'm still figuring out exactly what I want to do with this channel, whether I flip between phases of, oh well, this is just a video journal for me, and I don't need to meet expectations for anyone but myself, and I don't need to pour my heart and soul into it because it's really just a record of how I'm feeling in the moment, and something to do and something to quantify, like I've said in previous videos, things that I've accomplished, if you can call video gaming accomplishment. But you know what I mean, just things that I'm doing, things that I'm thinking, while trying to be as helpful as possible to friends, family, random strangers that may stumble upon the video. But I'm flipping between kind of doing that, which is essentially for myself and the occasional passerby, and like actually thinking about, oh well, I should make these like production quality, and really put effort into them, and really have something to say, and really try and help people, and really try and provide good gameplay, and good editing and production value and all these things. And it's just like, I can't land on one or the other. I keep flipping between these, and that's part of the reason I haven't put out a video in like 3 weeks, is just messing about with different ideas, thinking it through in my head, talking to AI, which is my creative muse for most of the YouTube stuff. But yeah, I finally decided to kind of just stick to the current format for the time being. I have a day off. I've kind of settled into a little bit of routine for my new job. The new job, by the way, is doing excellent. I couldn't be happier. I got a substantial pay increase from my last job, doing something that I feel passionate about, like carpentry and woodshop work, as I previously mentioned. And, the commute kind of sucks, but I think it's worth it. And it's also helping me kind of just, I don't want to be like toxically masculine and say toughen up, but it really is helping me toughen up on a lot of things, as far as just working a full-time job, working full-time hours, having a commute, just the realities of finding something that you're passionate about. And also kind of having this catalytic moment in my life where I'm transitioning from being primarily in school and then work on the side, and doing and then reversing that, being primarily work and school on the side. I am only 2 semesters away from graduating. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. But yeah, I have no real complaints about the new job. No real complaints. Obviously I could complain about the commute, but what good would that do? I'm doing something that I love, something that I'm passionate about, something that I'm learning, and I'm getting paid a living wage to do it. And so how can I complain? But I've been playing a lot of D&D. As you can see, we are nearing the end of the Tomb of Annihilation campaign. We've been doing it since probably around the beginning of the year. Maybe even before that. I can't actually remember when we started. But it's just 2 players and the occasional 3rd player that kind of lurks. But mostly 2 players, and they had 2 characters each, and several have died. Only 2 of the original 5 original PCs remain. Other than that, it's new PCs after they've died for parity balancing purposes and things. They just turned level 15. They also just reached the last floor of the Tomb of Annihilation, level 6. And I hope to be having a cool final battle with the Serac soon. I think it'll be really cool. And I think Tomb of Annihilation is so well put together, dude. It's just like Chris Perkins and his whole team and stuff did such a good job in just making a D&D adventure that drives you insane. Like they kind of did that with what's it called, Rime of the Frost Maiden, where it's like, but that's more of a defeatist insane, whereas this is like just a grueling, just teeth-gnawing experience about, oh my god, it trekking through the jungle for weeks and running through random encounters and then finding all of the friggin' puzzle cubes in Omu and finding the last one from Raznai and then going into the tomb after all of that and having to give your all, and you've probably lost characters, and it's just so unforgiving, and it just drives both the character and the player insane, and I just love it, and I'm ready to end it because it's driving me insane and it's driving my players insane. And so after that, we're gonna do probably something chill, like Waterdeep Dragon Heist or something like that, which is a little bit more of a laid-back campaign in my opinion. Just kind of like a nostalgic kind of dude. But yeah, I'm also thinking about doing a D&D, more specifically 2nd edition, because 1st edition is testy. 1st edition has its time and place, but 2nd edition is really kicked off, and I love 2nd edition, and so look for that. In Star Citizen news, the event has been long sigh, and I think that characterizes the event. I know I made a video about gratitude for the event, but after weeks of playing the event and glitching through the event and not making progress in the event, and just also ArcCorp is still in last place. Why is ArcCorp in last place? Everybody is a Hertzen fanboy. Jump on the Hertzen bandwagon, why don't you? But anyway, it's so frustrating, and I don't blame the devs. It's not like fuck you, horrible devs, because they're trying to there's an inestimable amount of shit that we don't see that they have to deal with, and so I don't blame them, but it's still just frustrating as a player. And so I just play little combat missions as I go, just bit by bit with my Aegis Avenger Titan, and I find that to be my daily dose of kind of Star Citizen, and just making a little bit of credits on the side, saving up for that Vulture, which I would love to buy pledge, with the pledge store, but I should probably, for the sake of credit score, just buy with in-game credits after actually earning. But yeah, a funny little story about Star Citizen and pledge store would be, I have discovered a way to turn blood into spaceships. Real life blood into virtual spaceships. And that is, I have been, for several years now, since COVID actually, been donating platelets kind of off and on, just as a little way to give to the community, have a little disconnect where you have 2 hours to just vibe and you're kind of stuck in this chair and you can be productive. It's a really interesting kind of lock-in moment for me, where I'll memorize repertoire or do errands, online errands, or make appointments, and just weird little odd tasks that I don't find the time for except for when I'm literally stuck to a chair for 2 hours. And anyway, you get little swag and little rewards and things by doing that. And one of the rewards that you can get is an Amazon gift card. And on the RSI website, you can pay for spaceships with Amazon credit, meaning I can literally turn my blood into virtual spaceships. And this has been my TED Talk. Thank you very much. So anyway, when I talk about blood money, I'm not talking about actual blood money, but I am talking about actual blood money. Because I don't know, I get paid to donate blood, or more accurately, platelets and concurrent plasma. But anyway, I thought that was a little funny thing that I kind of discovered, and so that's a way that I can really earn and save up for, because platelet money I've always spent on myself, because it's like a treat, it's something that you should spend on yourself, in my opinion. And so I'm going to try and save up for that vulture, which I believe right now sits at $190 USD, which is a lot. But anyway, here's some Mage Arena gameplay. I played that with some friends. I don't know, it was something. The game is just one of those games where it's like, I can see the potential, especially with lots of players, but boy oh boy is it just like a hunk of shit. Like, I couldn't read you know, I don't want to like blow shit to the devs or anything like that, but I couldn't read what the freeze spell said until my friend said freeze. Like, it was that pixelated. I couldn't make out the text, and I'm sure that my friend is going to comment skill issue in the fucking comments, but fuck you. How about that? But anyway, it's like a Battlefront where it's like, I can see solo gameplay isn't as rewarding as maybe like a large group. I can definitely see a large group being extremely fun, like lock in for hours and just do round after round after round. I think it's a very cute game with a lot of potential, and I wish the devs best of luck, because they can totally take that and run with it, and add more, adding more spells, adding like maybe, I don't know, classes, beside, to make it really like a Battlefront like that. I think that is the direction that the game should go in, while keeping kind of like how, you remember, God, what was it called? It was called Goat Simulator. You remember how the devs kept the non-game breaking bugs, like the visual bugs in that game, to make it funnier, because that was the point of the game? I think that would work wonders in Mage Arena. Keep all of the silly, funny, quote-unquote bugs, but fix the game and keep developing it. I think that would be really cool, because if you got like a decent community and like a matchmaking, you could have like tournaments of this game with like 32 players on a side. It would be so damn cool, dude, to have like 30 something people on each side screaming fireball at each other. That would be awesome, in my opinion. So I wish the devs the best of luck, and I think they're kind of in a good place, because they did lower the price of the game once it initially released, because of all the bugs. But anyway, like I said, I have no complaints, no real complaints, just kind of direction I'd like to see it go. But yeah, it's been like an okay week, I suppose. Can't complain about the week. New job, plenty of good video gaming, bug-ridden in its own regard, whether it be grounded to literal or figurative bugs, whether it be Star Citizen just figurative bugs, or Mage Arena also figurative bugs. Only D&D remains bug-free. No, but I hope you enjoyed this week in gaming, also known as TWIG from here on out. And I think just a message to take away, probably just take weeks in retrospect like this. You can have stressful moments, you can have bugs, figurative and literal in life, but on the whole, you had plenty of good moments. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you, everyone.